The Lord knows all things, what He had for him to do, and so at the Lord's time, He know if it's will to deliver him or whatever. He will. I know He will. I trust and believe that. I know that He will. So I ask that you remember him, that he have faith, and that he will have confidence in God to know that God will bring him out. Because, he's been through pain before. He's suffered before, but, pain comes on you just, it just kind of deadens my husband's life, just, I want to just be able to walk, he said, like normal. Just walk and be able to do my job, he said. So please remember him in prayer. And let's remember those. I was hoping that we need about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 2 more brothers. So this is what I want to do tonight. I want to do something special, something a little different. I need some brothers. I need 2 more brothers. I need 7. 7. Nobody else coming? Where's Brother Matt? And Brother, what's coming out here? Keeps out of town. Little BJ's coming. Oh, he's with his father. Well, so I didn't need him. I needed them for that, because we're going to do a little skit tonight, unrehearsed, but a little skit. So you get the picture, as Dad said, get the picture, get the point. But nevertheless, we'll press on. We'll turn out to our lesson tonight then. We'll turn to first of all, who was one of the greatest kings? One of the greatest kings of Israel. David, yes. And how did David get started? How did he become king? He was anointed, but he didn't know why he was being anointed. None of them really knew, but as the story will tell, you see that maybe it will open up for him. So let's turn to 1 Samuel, the 17th chapter. We will start at verse 20. Samuel 17th chapter, and we'll start at verse 20, and we'll read on to the end, I think. Does everybody have it? Anyone that doesn't have it? 1 Samuel 17th chapter, and we'll start at the 21st. 1 Samuel, after it go to Ruth, you know what Ruth in the Old Testament. Anything about Samuel or anything like that is in the Old Testament. Anything about David is in the Old Testament. So let's 1 Samuel, the 17th chapter. You have it now. Samuel comes after Ruth. So you have Judges. You have Judges, Ruth, and Samuel. All right. 17th chapter, 21st. I'll read verse 20. You read 21, and I'll read all the last verse together. Says, and David rose up early in the morning and left the sheep with a keeper and took and went as Jesse had commanded him. And he came to the trench as the host was going forth to the fight and shouted for the battle. And David left his carriage in the hand of the keeper of the carriage and ran into the army and came and saluted his brother. And all the men of Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him and were so afraid. And David spake to the men that stood by him, saying, what shall be done to the man that killeth this Philistine, and take away the reproach from Israel? For who is this uncircumcised Philistine, that he should defy the armies of the living God? And Eliab his eldest brother heard when he spake unto the men, and Eliab's anger was kindled against David. He said, why camest thou down hither? And with whom hast thou left those few sheep in the wilderness? I know thy pride and the naughtiness of thy heart, for thou art come down that thou mightest see the battle. And he turned from him toward another, and spake after the same manner, and the people answered him again after the former manner. And David said to Saul, let no man's heart fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with this Philistine. And David said unto Saul, thy servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear, and took a lamb out of the flock. Thy servant slew both the lion and the bear, and this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, seeing he have defied the armies of the living God. And Saul armed David with his armor, and he put a helmet of brass upon his head, also armed him with a coat of mail. And he took his staff in his hand, and chose him 5 smooth stones out of the brook, put them in the shepherd's bag which he had, even a scrip, and in his sling was in his hand, and he drew near to the Philistine. And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth, and ruddy, and of fair countenance. And the Philistine said to David, come to me, and I will give thy flesh unto the fowls of the air, and to the beasts of the field. This day will the Lord deliver thee into my hand, and I will smite thee, and take thy head from thee, and I will give the carcasses of the host of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air, to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel. And it came to pass when the Philistine arose and came and drew nigh to meet David, that David hasted and ran toward the army to meet the Philistine. So David prevailed over the Philistine with a sling and with a stone, and smote the Philistine and slew him, but there was no sword in the hand of David. And the men of Israel and of Judah arose and shouted, and pursued the Philistines until they come to the valley and to the gates of Ekron. And the wounded of the Philistines fell down by the way to Sherem, even unto Gath and unto Ekron. And David took the head of the Philistine and brought it to Jerusalem, but he put his armor in his tent. And the king said, Inquire thou whose son the stripling is. And Saul said to him, Whose son art thou, thou young man? And David answered, I am the son of thy servant Jesse, the Bethlehemite. Let's read this word. So as you see, David had to start off. He's going to be a warrior. He had to start off somewhere. But he started as a youth. Most times when people start out, they start out small. When they're training, but he went for the big thing. Straight up to a giant, Goliath, that they were all so afraid of, who was threatening the armies of the living God, as David said. And but as you see, his father sent him to see about his brothers, because his 3 older brothers had gone down to the battle. And his father sent him down there to check on him. And of course, when his older brother saw him, he was kind of angry with him. And right away, he jumped on him. What are you doing down here? Left the sheep. Who's taking charge of those sheep while you're down here? And but David said, is there not a cause? He said, I haven't done anything. Why, because he wondered, why are you jumping all over me? Because I'm down here. Because his brother said, you just came up here to see the battle. But as he turned, David just started asking different people different questions. Well, what's going to happen to the person that killed this man? And what did they tell him? What was the king going to give those whoever killed this Philistine? Yeah, great riches. Give his daughter in hand to him and make his father's house free in Israel. And David kept asking them, what did he say he's going to do? Because he promised, the king had promised that, and David just kept asking, what did he say would happen? And they kept telling him what would be going on. So then he said, I'll go up there and fight for some circumcised Philistine. He wasn't afraid. So because they were afraid, they said, take him up there to the king. So they brought him up there to Saul, and told him, said, this one right here, I think he kind of want to go up there. So, of course, Saul looked at him and he said, you know, you just a youth. Said, this is a man who was a man of war from his youth. Eli's been training since he was your age to be a warrior, and you just, but what did David give his credentials? So he went after him. So he smote him and got him out of his mouth. Grabbed him by the beard, said, and slew him. He said, if I slew them, said this uncircumcised Philistine is going to be just like one of them. See how much confidence he had, because he said, the Lord has delivered me before. I know I can do this. He's defied the armies of the living God. David loved God, and he believed and trusted in him more than probably his brothers. And he said, the Lord that delivered me out of the paw of the lion, out of the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine. And Saul said to David, go, the Lord be with you. See how ready they were to just put him up a little kid. Go ahead. You want to go up there. The rest of us are scared. we scared. That man's terrified now. We're not going up there. So, of course, Saul, he took all his armor off and wanted to put it on that little boy. Big old armor, if you've seen on TV when they show, when they went to battle, big old coat of mail with all the weapons on it, and this and that, and all that stuff on them, and big old spear and shield. And he put that on David. David, this don't feel right. I haven't tried this thing. It's not proven. People back then, you use what you know how to use. You're not going to use something new because you say, it's not, I haven't tried it. But I know what works for me. So he let him know. He said, no, I can't use this. I can't use this stuff. So he took all that stuff off of him. And he just took a little staff in his hand. How many stones? Out of the brook. Put him in his shepherd's bag. Had a sling in his hand. And he went down there towards that Philistine. Of course, the Philistine saw him running up and thinking, now what is this about? What a joke. Look, I'm this little kid up here running up in front of me. So the Philistine, he said, now wait a minute. Am I a dog that God comes to me with staves? And he began to curse David by his gods. See that small G? Them false gods. He said, come to me. I will give thy flesh unto the fowls of the air and to the beasts of the field. I guess he told David, I'm going to tear you in pieces. David said, you come to me with a sword, with a spear, with a shield, but what? Yeah, he said, I'm coming to you in the name of the Lord of hosts. Put God in front. That this day will the Lord deliver thee into my hand. I will smite thee and take thy hand from thee. I will give the carcass of the host of the Philistines this day, and to the fowls of the air, and to the wild beasts of the earth, and all the earth will know that there is a God in Israel. So David could talk some stuff too. Philistine thought he could talk something. David, he could talk some stuff too. Then all this assembly shall know that the Lord saveth not with the sword and the spear, for the battle is who? The Lord. He will give you into our hands. So David, he knew and trusted in God. He said, and it came to pass, the Philistine came to meet David. David ran up, put his hand down his bag, and took out his stone. Again, swinging that thing around. Swinging it around. Right in the forehead, right in the middle. So he had armor all around him, but he didn't protect his forehead, right there. David slung and that thing was guarded. The Lord guarded it right there. Boom. Jumped right into that man's head and knocked him right. He fell right to the ground. Boom. David ran up. Said, wait a minute. I only have a spear or sword. I told him I'll cut his head off, so I better make his own sword out. He took the man's sword out, the giant sword out of the sheep, cut that man's head off. And then when the Philistines saw what happened, what did they do? Took off running and said, I'm champion today. Goliath is down. Let's get out of here. They started running. They chased him. They chased him down. David, he returned with his head of this Philistine and brought it to Jerusalem. Put his armor in his tent. When Saul saw David, he asked the captain of the host, whose son is this? He said, I don't know. O king, I don't know. And the king said, inquire. So they found out. He said, come here. They brought him to him. He said, whose son are you? And he said, I am the son of thy servant Jesse, the Bethlehemite. But Saul did not know that this would be his replacement. He did not know that this little kid would someday grow up to be a young man who would challenge him for the throne, and that because of Saul being rejected by God, this young boy, young man, would become king instead of him. But you see how the Lord have things happen. If people come on, as our house said, if they come on stage, the Lord bring them on and show you, then you don't see them anymore, know nothing about it, and then one day it opens up. The curtains open and you find out. So, are there any questions or statements? But you see, Saul, he had seen David before, but he didn't remember. Because when he had the evil spirit, they said an evil spirit from God would come on him, and they needed to be calmed down, they said, you need somebody to play some music for you. And they said, we know a young lad that can play as skillful on his harp. And they would call David over there to play songs for him and calm him down when he was having those bad spells. But he didn't remember that. He did not remember when he saw him then. He was like, well, who is this? It was like, I don't know. So I don't know how long between times of that happening and this incident. But David had come to him before, if you read in the 16th chapter, it said about that. But nevertheless, it says, as you were saying, Howard, that he called him there because he had promised a tax exempt status of whoever who defeated Goliath, and so of course he was going to reward his son. He promised that, so he was going to reward Jesse with a tax exempt status because of David defeating Goliath. So he called him to get identity. Who is this? He told him, he said, son of Jesse, the Bethlehemite. So the king is supposed to keep his word. So he did give him one of his daughters. Eventually he did give one of his daughters to wife. And later on, of course, him and his son, Jonathan, became the best of friends. Any more questions or statements? Well, the skit, we were going to do the skit, and then I was going to have y'all answer questions about it from the lesson. We were going to have little BJ v. David, and Brother Matt, I thought that he would have been a nice Goliath, and Howard to have you to be Saul, and one of y'all be the brothers, the father, one be the father, Jesse, who sent him, and his brothers, when he got up there asking him, why are you coming down here? And then the other man who he asked, what is this all about? And the man explained to him that the king was going to give riches and this and that. So that's what the skit was going to be, that you were going to do this. And but nevertheless, anyway, we got through the story, and we hope that you learned tonight that, first of all, what's the first thing that you think about after reading this story? What's the first thing that comes into your mind about the story? Not King David. Okay, he killed Goliath. What else comes into your mind about the story? Yeah. He did not fear a little boy. You tell some grown men to go out there, which they did. They had grown men out there was shaking. No, I'm not going up there. But this little kid said, hey, who is this uncircumcised Philistine? Remember we talked about that in Sunday school, about the uncircumcised? He said, who is this uncircumcised that defies the armies of the living God? And what else do we learn about David from this story? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. He said, I took care of a bear and a lion. I got after my little sheep, I'll get you too. I'm not scared of you. And Goliath, he's like, I'll give you to the birds of the owl. He said, I'll give you to the birds of the, I'll feed your flesh. So he talked right back at him. And that sometimes when the enemy oppresses, we have to talk back. Like you say, shake the devil off. Say, Satan, get behind me. Get behind me. As Allah said, don't push. Get behind me. Because he will challenge you. He will challenge you. And see if you're going to stand up or not, or you're going to take off like those men did. They took off running. They were scared. Down there hiding in the trench. He said, come on out. Come on out and fight me then. We ain't going up there. They were afraid. But then Israel always had been like that. They had always been afraid of their enemies, and God would have to put a challenger in front of them, somebody to stand in front of them, and God would say, go out there. I will be with you. Once God told them that, then somebody got strength, and they would go forward. But other than that, they were afraid of their enemies. They were always, we can't make it. We can't make it. And the Lord would send one of his chosen to go before them and give them courage. Remember the story of Barak? He said, I'm not going unless you go with me, Deborah. She was a woman, she was a prophetess. But he said, unless you go with me to battle, I'm not going there. Because he was scared. She said, well, the battle is going to be in the hands of a woman today. It's not going to be this man is going to be delivered by the hands of a woman, not by a man. You know the story about Jael, who took that tent nail and drove it through that man's temple, gave him some milk to go to sleep, and she took care of him. When they come looking for him, he's over there. The Lord used who he wants for his purpose. But in this instant, it was David, little David, who was not afraid because he trusted in God. And that's what we have to be. We have to trust God for everything. Not just some things, but everything. I trust him every day for everything, all day long. I need God. There's no time of the day I'll say, Lord, I don't need you. I'm fine. Never. I always trust him. And David, he trusted him. Because when you're a shepherd and you got sheep out there, you know what time that wild animal will come and try to get those sheep. You have to be ready to protect what's yours, to protect your sheep. And so he was confident that God is going to be with me, and God was with him. And Goliath fell down to the earth, and he went up there and cut the man's head off and brought it back and showed Saul. Because Saul was afraid. Now remember, Saul was a big man his own self. He was taller than all the people, as it says, when they chose him. But even he was afraid of this giant, Goliath. And so you see that God uses, they say, ordinary people. And this was just a little boy who had confidence in God. And that's what we have to do. We have to have confidence in God and trust in him. Let's see, we have, yes.
This was in the time. Saul had disobeyed God. always with God. There's always someone in the making long before we look at Samuel, Eli, how Samuel came to be in existence because of his mother promising God that she would dedicate his child. And then you have Saul, who was chosen, the first king to ever be over the people of God. They wanted a king like the other nations. So God told Samuel, I want them a king. And Samuel loved him. So after Saul failed to do what God had told him to do, he was then stripped of the kingdom. But all of this was happening and transpiring right during the time Samuel mourning for Saul. The Lord asked him, how long are you going to mourn? There is a son among the sons of Jesse that I want you to anoint, and David. Samuel said, if Saul hears that I'm going to anoint another king, he's going to kill me. The Lord told him, pay a sacrifice. Get a heifer, pay a sacrifice. Make sure that you call Jesse and his sons to the sacrifice. So that's what he did. So yeah, Jesse had all these sons passed before. And then this one was thinking, surely he's going to be one. God was thinking, surely he's going to be one. Samuel said no. The Lord said no. Man looks at the outward, but I look at the heart. What's in his heart? And he found that David was very brave. He was young, and if you notice, the average age of the military personnel is 19 years old. Now the question is, who's thinking about dying at 19? Nobody. That's the last thing in your mind is dying. So you do a lot of way out. Some say foolish things, crazy things. But you're not a devil. Far away. And then this young man here, look at the man, I'm sent out here to protect my sheep. And he watched over the sheep. And he found that God was preparing David then to be king. Because there is, when you come down to being king over God's heritage, you have to be very, very careful with what you do. David was fearless. Found that when Samuel saw David come in, because they left David out there taking care of sheep, Samuel told Jesse this, is there any other? But the Lord didn't say or no, this was down the way out. So we got one more, and he's out there tending the sheep. So lo and behold, it sent David to come, and as soon as David came in the midst, the Lord says, arise and anoint him. This is he. Now I want you to take note at the envious look in the eyes of his brother. Some of them. If you look at the picture carefully, you will see the envious look in their eyes. As if to say, why him? Why him? And you notice how they ridiculed on him when he came out to see the battle, see what was going on. We know you. We know how you are. But it was he who did what? Delivered them from the Philistines. The one whom they despised was the one that actually delivered them from the enemy. But they ended him jealousy, but it was he whom God used to deliver him. And you think of David and the tools that he had: 5 stones, a sling, and a shepherd's bag. That's 7 things he had with him. He didn't have a sword, he didn't have a shield. The Lord was his shield. Yeah, David speaks about it. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. You find that he went out and he slew this giant. A slingshot, his son right dead in his forehead. And when Goliath fell to the ground, they went, because he didn't have a sword, so he didn't sword out. So I said he slew it. When he went to Saul with the head of Goliath, dragging it along or carrying it somehow. But one thing for sure, he had the head. And when you see snake, one thing that God telling him to do is remove his head. Cut his head off. And you got it. And David went into Saul. And like I said, Saul was not knowledgeable of David, because when the spirit, that evil spirit came from him, like Marcia was talking about, they said for David to come play. Whether he was visually known, he could have been behind a curtain, right? Who knows? Whether he was in his presence directly or not. But the picture I wanted to show you mainly was look in the eyes of some of his brothers and how that he was realistically chosen by God to watch it, despised the man. And yet, he was the individual. And God had used, trained him, as Brother Jonathan said. He was a warrior from his youth. So you going out, but David didn't fear. He didn't fear the bad, the lion. He was just ruthless like this. He was a warrior. To find a good warrior, you have to be not afraid. You cannot be skittish and win any battle. You have to be brave. Someone said, fight, be brave against all evil. And we see David here as the chosen man to bring forth rest among the people. They began to grow and escalate. They feared him because he never lost a battle. Till sin was found in his heart and his enemy was. Then Saul set out to kill him when he found out that he was supposed to be king. Saul tried to kill him. David had to run for his life. There was a time in the king when they were there. David could have slew him, but he just cut off his shirt and was gone. That was it. The story is of the magnificence, once again, the magnificent power of the Almighty God, and how that he can use just anybody he chooses. That person, and it's one thing about God, he don't make mistakes. But if he lays his favor upon you, and he chooses you, you are, whether you understand it then or not, you are the person will accomplish the mission that God has set forth. Whether you see it or not, you just move by faith day in and day out. And you find out that sooner or later it all comes to fruition. Amen.
know that comes with the territory. Whenever someone steps up, there's always somebody who's jealous and may have hard feelings about it. But David, he didn't go up there to kill that man. He just went down there because his father said, take this food down there and see how your brothers are doing. He went up there, okay, what's going on up in here? And I be start seeing the man, everybody else scared, and they tell him, King gonna get this and that. What he gonna get? Okay, I'll go up there. So nevertheless, we learned that not to be afraid, that God is on our side. As I said, this battle is the Lord's. It's not ours. So, okay, we have some, draw swords. Everybody come up to want to participate, please. Ladies and brothers, come up together. And, got any little kids today? We got little Sarah and little BJ. Y'all coming up, and the adults be ready to come up. All right. Brother Brian, you want to judge? Little David, little BJ, and Sarah. Numbers? Do. Okay, we're going to see. All right. Draw swords. 1, 2. All right. We're looking for Genesis. Go far, all the way to the end. Keep on, Revelation is the last book of the Bible. You gotta turn all the way around. All right, you found it? Yes. So, where's Revelation? R-E-V, R-E-V-E. Yep, you got it. See that? Good job. All right. Okay, come on down. Let the adults work it. Good job. because she knew that the angel said that. John, his father, when they went to him, they said, "Who are your family by thy name?" And he said, "His name shall be John." He had invited us to his wedding. He wrote once then in his son, the father of the baby because he didn't believe. When the angel told him about it, he didn't believe John. He said, "Do not be speak this now." So you're saying that his mother named him John, but his dad wrote it. His mother did not name him John. The angel told her that now that we just read it. But it said, did his mother say his name to be John because he had been ordained by an angel? Yes. Not because she made it up. The angel told her. Because God was the angel told her John's name. They thought she was Zacharias because there's nobody in the family named John. Why do you think saying his name is John? What's the first thing God said? Did three wise men from the east come to visit Jesus according to Matthew? He said, yes.
Scripture now.
Yes. According to Matthew. The number is unsteady. Matthew 2, 1 to 12 says the number is unstable and exactly correct. And Matthew's account doesn't give the same response. After the crucifixion, one of the Roman soldiers pierced Jesus in the side with a spear. Then blood flowed.
So the answer yes or no.